North Melbourne's development in 2021 will be a fascinating storyline, and the man at the helm for that journey is new coach David Noble, and the Roos coach joins us on AFL Tonight. David, hello to you. We appreciate your time. Your first pre-season as senior coach of North is nearly over. How's it been?
It's been very exciting. Yeah, we've put a lot of time and effort, into a new game plan. We're going to continue to learn from that as we start the season. Had a couple of good experiences against the Saints and the Hawks. And, we'll just continue to look forward to an exciting growth period throughout the year.
David, what's the David Noble stamp, if you like, that you've been able to put onto the players in your time at the club?
What's my stamp? Oh, look, I just think we've given the players some real ownership around the direction that they want to take. I think we've got a really experienced coaching group that's supporting the players. We want to take an attacking brand, into this year. I think the way that the man on the mark has been set up will suit us. We've got a lot of youth and we've got a lot of speed into our side. So, hopefully that's the brand that our fans will come to know this year.
Having watched your team play against opposition twice now, you mentioned it, against the Saints and then Hawthorn, what's your assessment of where the team is at right now?
Yeah, look, we were really pleased with our first half on the weekend. We felt that there were periods where we controlled the ball. Our defence had some really good shape, capacity to move the ball inside 50. Looks like it's going to hold up really well. We think we'll have a dynamic forward line with some youth, with some speed, some guys that will have some versatility. We're really pleased with the outcome that we had. We had a little bit of a lapse in the third quarter, but that's part of our growth and our development as a team moving forward.
Have any players surprised you or sort of beaten down the door to be selected in round one?
Yeah, look, there's been a few. I think a couple of our first-year players have been excellent on the training track. Tom Powell and Charlie Lazaro have really put their hands up for selection. And then I think it's the group that are the Jack Marnie, the Curtis Taylor. Bailey Scott's had an exceptional pre-season. And then, of course, Jai Simpkin, who was voted into the leadership group last week as a vice-captain, has had an outstanding pre-season as well.
You spoke about it there, David, about that attacking style of play. And your players a couple of times during the pre-season have mentioned that they want to bite off those attacking kicks through the corridor, use that 45-degree movement to maybe quicken up the pace of the ball movement and take a few more risks. Have you been pleased with the progress made in that respect?
We have. Certainly, we're looking in there. We've got to find some other avenues at different times. We can't just be, hell-bent on going in there where there's lots of defence from opposition. But I certainly feel that the players have got a real thirst to attack. They want to score. We also need to put some really strong defence and some ball pressure around that. Obviously, when you get, playing the better teams at the top end of the table, they obviously have a lot of great ball pressure mechanisms. So, we just have to continue to learn how to move that ball in an offensive way, given some defence from the opposition.
Can you stay the course playing attacking footy if the results don't happen to go your way? Like, is that a hard part of this development and this journey, that you may not be able to always do the things you want to do straight away?
Yeah, look, there's no doubt. Look, there's a plan that we've presented to the players. They've had some ownership of that plan, and we're going to stick to that plan. We're not going to be silly about it, but we'll understand that there's got to be some periods of growth. There's got to be some periods of learning. With a younger group, that comes as a result of. But having said that, we still have some really strong established players. Our skipper's a really experienced player. Goldstein, Cunnington, Atley, McDonald. We feel that experience will hold us in good stead for our learning periods this year.
You've spoken about a couple of the first-year players who have made an impact. I'm intrigued about Will Phillips. When you made a big decision at pick 3 to bring him to the club, how is he going? And also, how much did the club deliberate about perhaps taking the key forward in Logan McDonald, who did make a bit of a splash over the weekend? Yeah,
we were really clear where we wanted to go with the midfield. So, that decision and that that discussion had been held a bit before I sort of landed, but certainly we felt that the midfield in that discussional point was an area that we wanted to build through. We tend to forget that Will Phillips hadn't played since 2019. He didn't play at all last year. And so we just needed to be patient with him over that pre-season. He had a run against the Hawks last week, looked really well, capable of, midfield. So his time and exposure in playing against another AFL team looked to be in really good position.
So making predictions, I guess, at the start of coaching tenures is always difficult, but Ben Buckley did say that he'd like North to be aiming for top 4 within 2 to 3 years. Do you feel like that's attainable from what you've seen so far, and given that you are, somewhat in a rebuild?
Yeah, it's hard to know, really, isn't it? I mean, we haven't even played, a game for points just yet. We've got a lot of education. We need to understand our list. We need to know where some of our holes are going to be in that list as we grow a new game plan. So, look, we're certainly not concerned or frightened of Ben's comments. We welcome the fact that we want to be a club that's aspiring to play finals. There's no aspect that we are concerned about. We want to chase success. We're really keen to continue to grow and develop our list and develop a game plan that'll be successful, when we play finals.
Early days still, David, but Jack Ziebell down back, how have you seen it, and do you think it is a permanent move for him?
Yeah, so look, at this stage it's permanent. I mean, Jack's played a couple of games there against the opposition. He's really keen to learn the role. We feel that, we've got some scope there to improve some of the skill sets that we need him to play with. He's an experienced campaigner who reads the ball really well. We know his rebound will be really strong. So, yeah, we're really comfortable where he is. And look, he's certainly up for the task of learning more about that role. And we think that he certainly can add some dimension to our counter-attack off half-back.
Where's Ben Cunnington at ahead of round 1 with that concussion?
Yeah, look, all our guys that didn't play last week are tracking towards round 1. So we're really hopeful that Ben gets through the back end part of that cycle that we need to go through with concussion. We understand that concussion is individual. So we're hopeful that he's tracking in the right direction at the moment, that he'll be available potentially for round 1.
Now, I'm intrigued about Paul Roos and his recruitment to the club. It's been, I guess, publicised a little bit. What's his involvement been like with you, let's say, in the aftermath of the match last weekend and then in the lead up to round 1?
Yeah, so Paul sits in the box, as an independent observer. He helps our assistant coaches. He helps with some feedback post-game for me. I'm able to bounce different ideas. I'm actually catching up with him for lunch tomorrow. So Roosy's been really good as an independent, set of eyes for us to run across with areas that we're trying to grow in, the scope and development of our game plan. He's been a really great sounding board for us as a football club, and certainly for myself as a coach.
Is it, feedback that he gives you, can you implement that straight away? Like, is it that direct, or is it more he oversees and might just chip in here and there?
Yeah, probably more just chip in here and there. Paul knows the direction that we want to take. And so therefore he's able to just provide his input that may result in some adjustments through the week. Might be some feedback for us as coaches in regards to how our messaging gets through. Paul comes with some long-term view and scope to help us continue to grow and improve our list as we move forward.
A bit of sad news coming out of Brisbane, and a man that you would know well. Unfortunately, Cam Rayner won't be available to play this season. Have you spoken with him? And obviously, it's such a blow with a guy who's about to really explode.
Yeah, I haven't. I've just in that initial period of time, I'm sure he's been bombarded with with best wishes, and my thoughts go out to him. I was watching the game last night and couldn't believe my eyes. So yeah, it's an unfortunate incident. They're terrible incidents. ACLs are never good, and long-term injuries, but particularly for people that you've worked closely with. And yeah, look, I hope his recovery goes really well.
All right, David, before I let you go, you've set a record membership for your AFLW team, and you're up to 33,500 for the men's side of the program. For North supporters who are watching who haven't signed up, what's your pitch?
Get on board. I think it's exciting. I've always believed that members are able to follow and track and grow with young members and young players as they come through. A Will Phillips, a Tom Powell, a Curtis Taylor. There's plenty of youth in there for us that provide some excitement. And we'd love our fans. They stuck really fat last year. and we want them to jump on board and be part of an exciting journey going forward.
David, we appreciate your time. Good luck for the entire season and your tenure for North Melbourne.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.